Okay, here we are, live once again. I'm a little bit late, not that much, like 2 minutes late, but technically still late. And I'm usually really good at being on time. Um, and that is because I was having a bit of an issue when I opened up Unreal. I merged some of the stuff that I did over the last weekend because I had that in like a different branch on my version control stuff, and I wanted to merge all that together because at some point I'm gonna have to, right? And that didn't go very well. So some of the work that we've done in the last stream, as well as some of the work that I've done over the past week, is not in my current workspace. I'm sure it's still somewhere. I'm sure it's not lost. I just didn't have time to dive in and get everything sorted out so that everything is neatly in one place. It still scares me a little bit to be making progress and working on things now. But the entire point of version control is that on a per file basis, I should be able to just add in the stuff. For instance, we do have like this animation montage, and we do have these animation sequences. But we don't have the level sequences that go with those animation sequences, which is not great. So we'll figure this out at some point. And one of those other things is like my level loading rework. I changed some things about the blueprint class. And this is the weird thing, right? Because this happened in the same commit. So something weird happened. And then we'll go over back into the animation. But I changed. You'll see this in the actual devlog video coming out first Monday of May. So that's going to be like 2 or 3 weeks. I changed some things in the blueprint here for my level to load, setting the like object name value in the construction scripts. That I still have. Like that got merged properly. What didn't get merged properly is the C++ class having that variable marked as writable, which I did do. It just didn't do that in the commit merging for some reason, which now makes this entire thing not compile. So there's something really weird going on, and I'm going to be a little bit uneasy about that throughout today's stream, most likely. But we should be fine, hopefully. I don't know, man. How's everybody doing? Hopefully better than me. I am doing better than earlier this week. Earlier this week we had a fucking wild stream, which was very, very chaotic. I actually feel like a human being again. So that's a great start, I would argue. Also, hopefully this time RuneScape won't crash halfway through, because I am doing some mining. And we've got our picture-in-picture right there. Cool. So let's just start doing some more animation stuff and trust in the process of merging things back together. Oh, I think I know what happened. That will be a little bit of a quirk here. I'm going to cannot access a certain file. Sure. What happened is this is the commit from before I started the level loading rework. This, by the way, this should have way more commits in it than it does for like, at this point 20 hours of work. But I am bad at doing that. Okay. I merged the way this works is it doesn't merge the most recent like total workspace. It only merges based on change sets. I guess everything that happened in this change set didn't get merged back into the main branch here. Only the things that happened in this change set over here. So that's probably what happened. Matter of fact, I'm going to test that theory and then we're going to animate. I just want to resolve this and make sure that everything is up to snuff. So, in theory, if we now say, hey, merge this change that into hold on, I'll do this on another monitor. I don't know if there's any like sensitive information on that. There is. That's my email address right there. I'm very happy that I didn't show that. I suppose we can just tell all this to be undone, because that it's just temporary files. By all means, it shouldn't even be tracking those for version control purposes, I don't think. But we will see. This is going to take a moment. In the meantime, do feel free to look at my RuneScape. I gained a mining level. There we go. That's exciting. Right in time for the next layer of the star as well. So yeah, that's going to take a moment. Again, I was troubleshooting this before the stream, and then I figured, oh, fuck, hold on. Well, this is not going to monetize now. I'm supposed to be streaming right now. So it's kind of in the middle of something, and I have this thing called a brain. And when it focuses on something, it's really hard to let it go. So I'm going to just sit here for a moment and let it do its thing. And if it doesn't take too long, undoing these changes, I'm going to try to merge things back together. In the meantime, good day to even Steven. This is it's a little bit awkward that I'm just sitting here saying that I'm going to be doing animation, and all that you're looking at this point is RuneScape. But we'll get back there. We'll get back there. Things are going to be fine. Things are going to be fine. Okay? Things are going to be fine. Hopefully. And if they're not, at least it'll be funny for you. Okay, this is taking a while for just undoing a couple of cache files. So, at this point, like, what do I do? That's a very good question at this point. What do I do? I need to figure out what files keep me from merging things all the time here. Yeah, I want to quit that operation. I don't really care. Instagalactics is on Twitch. Hello. Twitch chat is alive and well. More so than whatever the fuck I'm doing. Let's see. And moved items. Is any of this like? None of this is relevant. It's the thing. But undoing it all seems to take a hot minute. So I'm just going to do a check-in and see if that's any faster. That is a lot faster, because that's only going to take like a minute at this point. So we're just going to hang out for like a minute and a half until this thing is done merging, and then I'll try to merge some more, and then we should be back with our complete project where everything is just kind of there, in theory. Hopefully. And if it isn't, I'm going to figure this shit out at some other point off stream, because this is not titled Troubleshooting Version Control. This is titled Animating a Boss Character. And so was the last one. We had a grand total of one animation in that, and I don't want to repeat the fiasco that was Tuesday. And the stream before that was also supposed to be animation, and we spent like an hour and a half rigging, and then like made one animation. I want to make progress with these animations, because once I've got all the animations in place, I can actually start programming the fucker, and that's what I really want. So bear with me here for a moment. You can watch me slowly hack away at this shooting star in RuneScape. We're slowly. I hate mining, man. Just a little bit of a tangent. I've got like 15 seconds left before the merge happens. When I last month figured I'm gonna get a RuneScape membership because I feel like wasting my life away at an MMO, I started playing RuneScape 3. And in RuneScape 3, mining is a very AFK task. If you set up your inventory properly, you can like literally mine for like an hour without looking at the screen, which is fucking insane, obviously. But then I also realized that there's still changed items. Fucking. Okay, now it's fixed. Okay, so the idea being now is if we try to merge this, merge change set to main branch. We should maybe now. Maybe that didn't do it. Maybe that didn't do it, and that is bad. If that didn't do what I wanted it to do, I think I might be fucked. Because that might have resulted in me actually losing data. But let's figure this out. We'll see. Anyway, so what I was saying is you can AFK for a very long time in RuneScape 3 while mining. So I like doing that, but then I realized actually like RuneScape 3, the modern RuneScape, kind of sucks because it throws microtransactions in your face every 5 seconds. And there's a lot of like loot box, RNG gambling stuff in it. And I'm not about that. And even if you don't like interface with it, congratulations, you spent like 500 hours getting a skill to level 99. And then some fuckhead shows up who did it in like 10 hours and $500. Okay, so this does not seem to have fixed anything, I don't think. Oh, that's really bad. That is really, really bad. I don't like that. Can I revert back to this branch without it taking an hour? No, I cannot. Okay, I'm just going to trust that afterwards I'll be able to merge things back together. And if not, I will just hate myself forever. Let's just keep going. Because otherwise, again, I'm going to be troubleshooting this. And that's not interesting to watch. I just figured that I had a genius ID and I did not. So let's go back here into animations, characters, bosses, Reaper. Level hold on. These are now back. So I did do something. Which is actually more confusing. That's actually straight up just more confusing. The fact that those got added back in. But none of the folder that I placed them in. How? How does that happen? I am so confused right now. What does the animation blueprint look like? Yeah, we do have this. I set this up last time. I remember that because I got severely annoyed by layer blending by bone. Anyway, let's just accept that everything works. Except for the door thing. But the door thing is actually remarkably easy to fix. Because that is literally just... let's look up door. We have the... Oh... No, okay, so things did get merged back together. So, okay, here's what happened. We did merge everything, but we didn't compile afterwards. So our C++ files are up to date with the newest code that I've written. But I haven't compiled with that new code yet on this branch. So that's why it's not showing in-game. And to prove that I am not insane, mostly to myself, I am going to go away from animating again. I know at this point we're like 15 minutes into the stream, but I just need to like, let's build this real quick. And see if I am actually like not going insane. Because this very much is marked as blueprint rewrite. So the error that I was getting shouldn't be happening. The only reason that is happening is because it's not using the latest compile from the latest C++ files. And in the meantime, I'm going to, because I'm going to get distracted again, I'm going to zoom it. I'm going to open up that little program, which again, I really like having that capability for when I'm explaining something. Just being able to zoom into the screen, specifically because I'm working on like a 4K screen. You guys might be watching this on mobile, which is, at that point you can't read anything that I'm doing, right? So how far is the star layer going? Sure, fine. You know what? These 15 minutes of nothing actually happening on stream and me just fucking about and just kind of troubleshooting something that has nothing to do with what we're actually going to be doing is actually on purpose, because now people are starting to trickle in and see that I'm streaming, so that I'm not missing anything too important. That's important. The doors compile. The doors fucking compile. They work. They fucking work. Let's take a look at one of them. If we go into the construction script, no more errors. And now you'll be able to see if I... this is the thing that I worked on in that video, which again, video coming pretty soon. I just need to edit it, and there's like 12 hours of footage. So it's going to take a while to edit. But first Monday of May. If I now pick from this menu here, let's say, what level does this even need to load? Like, this needs to load this level down here, 170 hallway, right? So I can pick from this menu. I can just type in 170 hallway and look at the level to load value down here. Automatically gets updated. Boom. I spent an hour and a half doing this a different way. It didn't work. I reverted back to a previous commit I made in my version control. Setting up this took 5 minutes because it is literally just those two nodes that I showed you a moment ago. Anyway, let's get to animating. Levels. Not persistent world, animation level. There we go. So what do we need to animate? Let's see. I think it's this one. No, that's definitely not the one. It's this one. We need to attack animation 2, a slower attack animation, the dash animation, and the swing for the dash animation, and we need to make a taunt. The taunt we can kind of do last after we've programmed everything in, because that's just going to be an animation montage that it sometimes plays. These are all quite important for the actual functionality of everything. So let's do the other attack. And for that we're going to just duplicate this, and it's already got the proper name and everything. So that's kind of cool. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, how is everybody doing today? My mental state has just declined like 50% in the last 10 minutes. Or more so, last 20 minutes of me getting this stream started and going. Because that was a wild ride. Where is the rig? It should be right here, right? This is just a transform. Where's the control rig? My dude. My dude. What the actual fuck? Okay, so maybe we can't animate yet because we still have an issue. Reaper control rig, where are you? Do you exist? It seems like it might not exist, which... How? I'm gonna. This is in the animation. I'm gonna check in the 3D models as well. If I just look for rig, armor rig. This thing that I made. Oh no, I made that this weekend actually. I was gonna say after, but no, I made that before. Is still in there. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do a thing again. Few changes. Something got deleted for some reason at some point. Reaper. Reaper basic rig control rig take 1. That doesn't seem like. I should be able to like cherry pick, right? Just like one specific asset and restore it. Maybe I have to do that in here. Hold on. We made that before. Can I search for Reaper? Well, here they're all U assets, so that's going to make that significantly more annoying to deal with. No, that's not good. Because I'm not redoing the rig, because then I need to redo all the animations, and I'm not doing that. So at this point, it's not a matter of I will do this later. It's a matter of if I don't figure this out, I can't do animation. And that is fucked. That is very fucked. How did that even get lost? How does that make any sense? How do the animations exist that use that control rig, but somehow that control rig just got yeeted? How does that even happen? Okay, let me look through some of these change lists to see if I can. Maybe I'll look for rig instead of for Reaper. Reaper rig.u asset. I'm pretty sure that's gotta be it, right? So it looks like we're having another stream where I'm not doing any animation that I wanted to be doing, which is just fantastic. Look, all of these just say change. Nothing says removed. Where did it get removed? Hold on, this one said it did get moved, not removed, but now it should be in... It got moved from content 3D models, characters, bosses, Reaper rig to content animations, but it's not in there either. So I'm guessing something fucked up. Maybe like my computer shut down or something while it was doing that, and it removed it from one place but didn't actually finish moving it. I don't know if I should feel lucky or unlucky that it did that with an asset that I noticed it with. Yeah, it's definitely not in there. So let's... You have your works pending. Look, I just need to get that rig back. Don't bitch about like pending changes and all the shit that I don't care about, okay? Please. So maybe we'll do something else that doesn't require that rig today. But I don't have that much else to do. So yeah, this is gonna be somewhat of a problem. I'm going to try to revert to a different change sets, maybe. Can I merge from that, maybe? Hold on. I'm going to try a thing. You guys can't see what I'm doing because I don't want to show you my version control thing too much. But I'm going to try a thing. And the thing that I'm going to try is, first and foremost, I'm really getting fucking tired of having to check in like a bunch of just like cache files. In the meantime, our RuneScape crashed again. Fucking fantastic. I don't know why it keeps doing that on stream. It does not like me streaming for some reason. But it's fine. We're way too focused on other shit anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing here, and I will show you this part, is I'm going to try to merge from this. Because I know that it exists in this one. And theoretically, any files that exist in both, I should be able to pick the newer one from. So we can merge from this change set. And it says there's 0 conflicts to resolve. That worries me a lot. That worries me a lot. I don't like this feeling. I don't think that fixed it. I don't think that fixed it. It might have broken some more shit. First and foremost, the doors still work. They still exist. That's good. If I look for a rig, does my Reaper, like, with an animation? Okay, so it just didn't do anything. Well, at least it didn't break anything. Okay, backup plan number 55. I've got fucking changes pending again because of those temp files. I'm going to take care of that after the stream. It's creating a lot of unnecessary commits at this point, but I don't really care. I just want to cherry pick from this change set. And it doesn't give me anything. Might need to be this one instead. Okay, that doesn't work either. Let's go nuclear, and we're just going to revert to an earlier workspace. How long is that going to take? That's 10 gigabytes of data that it has to change around, which takes half an hour. We don't have that time. We're not doing that. Is it possible to deform metahumans on purpose? I imagine so, yeah. I have no idea because I don't like metahumans. They're quite restricted in what they let you do with those models. Okay, we're in a little bit of shit because for some reason my rig just doesn't exist anymore. And that is an issue. That is a real fucking problem. And I don't know where or how or when it exactly got lost. I have a hunch, but that doesn't seem to really matter. And troubleshooting this is going to take a long time because every time I change my workspace in my version control, it's going to take like between 10 and 30 minutes. So unless we want to just sit here and look at my code for the majority of the stream and do nothing, I don't think there's much that we can do here. Because again, setting up the control rig again isn't viable because that doesn't work with the animation that we already have. I need to fix this first. And I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try one or two more things, and if that doesn't work, fucking give me ideas in the chat as to what I can do instead of animating today. Because at this point, I don't know, and people seem to like not be very much into just me complaining, which is fair. An existing under operation has oh yeah, okay. So my idea was I want to try to undo these. And then probably what I should have done is added all of those to the ignore. Anyway, no. We're a little too late. I suppose we can still... I forget how it is you add to ignore lists. Sure. What was I going to do again? I was going to do a thing. You see, we started the stream with my workspace here, but now we're already here and we haven't actually done anything. So I guess what I want to do is this is the level loading rework plus the attack animations that we did. If I open up this, it has the attack animations, but does it also have the rig? This is on my other monitor, so you guys can't see, but I'll be back with you in a moment. Reaper rig.basic asset. Okay, and that is can we in any way restore this? We try to open this. You probably, yeah, you can't. Like I can open this with Visual Studio if I want to, but that just, yeah, it's just a U asset. That's not going to do anything. Moved. Somewhere it fucked me when I moved the asset. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So I added and then moved the asset within this one change set. And that somehow seems to have fucked me because I'm guessing that while merging a moment ago before the stream, or at the start of the stream, I don't even remember, I cancelled that operation and that's what fucked me. But now, I would very much like to fix it. So I'm gonna try one more time to just merge from this change set, and that am I insane? Do I need to press a button here? Because this is grayed out. And so is this. And that's because I already merged them, right? That's how that works. Let's try to explicitly say that we want to merge it to the main branch, and we still get the same fucking thing, because that's, I mean, that still makes sense. I can't even say cherry pick because it's already been merged, I suppose. That's why. Go to parent change set? Yeah, but that doesn't really... I'm going to look this up on Google. Probably should have done this a while ago. What's this fucking thing called again? Yeah, Unity DevOps Control. It's got a proper name though. Unity restore single file. Restore deleted file. It's quite funny how even working with Unreal, it's still Unity fucking me. Other than that, I'm very happy with Unity version control and the way that it has like a plugin that works within like Unreal Engine itself. So you have like just committing things within the engine, not having to tab out or anything. So I'm not really sliding it too much, but it's still kind of funny how it's like a Unity thing that's fucking me. Revive deleted file. That's exactly what I need to do. In order to revive deleted files, you can delete the change set where you remove them, or even better, you can do a subtractive merge operation. I mean, I can just delete everything up to here because we haven't done anything with that, but I really don't want to do that without thinking it through too much. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do that subtractive merge change set thing, and that is not what I meant to do. I think we do it from here then, right? So subtractive merge change set. Where even is my chat at this point? Oh my god. Okay, let me look through this a little bit. So this is characters. Oh, that's an animations. Animation sequences, hover idle, passive idle. Why is there an item has been moved from the source and destination, or has deleted? So I just want to have the Reaper rig. And then for everything else, I want to keep destination changes. So can I just select like everything else that has... Do I need to do these one by one? Seriously? Oh, hold on. I need to make sure that I'm not doing this the wrong way around. Source is deleted, destination is modified. Oh, fuck, I did this the wrong way around. We're gonna get there. I think we've got a way to make this work now. So just for this one, I want to keep the destination. No, I want to keep the source. I actually did do this properly. Never mind. And can I just tell the rest to go fuck themselves? Because I really don't want to go through these one by one, because there's no reason for me to. Though I suppose there's also no reason for me not to, maybe. Okay. With this, I think we're almost there. And then like an hour in, we can start. What even is this file? Level door. Oh, this is level door. We want to keep the local version for this one. Level animation dot animation level dot umap. We want to keep the local version. I don't think this really matters, so let's just keep the local version. Persistent world map, local version, control rig take one. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Apply changes. Okay. All that said, let's see if this fixed it. Or if it broke more. Because if it broke more, we're just going to... I don't know. I don't know what we'll do if this broke it more, to be honest. I will have a mental breakdown is what we'll do. There's just like two things I need to check. If those two things, like the door and whether the animations exist, the doors seem to exist and have like 180 hallway, the system works, that's a good start. Assets you've edited are out of date. At least that is something new. It still has that other character in it as well. Now go into animation, characters, bosses, Reaper. How is this entirely empty? I just deleted more. Like this whole ass character doesn't exist. Oh no, it does. It does. It does. Its animations just don't. So I deleted them. I did it the exact wrong way around. We can easily undo my fuck up from just a moment ago. That's not a problem. It just takes a moment. We just gave you a progress update for like the undo operation because sometimes I'm not entirely sure. Okay, undo changes were done successfully. All this stuff is just INI files, which I think for the most part I can just add these to the ignore list. Or maybe not. I don't know why I have to like press the undo button 5 times for everything to be undone. Like this entire stream is making me rethink how much I actually like this version control and how much I might just want to go back to fork instead. Because this is kind of fucking me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that I need to keep these logs though, so we can add these to the ignore list. I'm glad my tutorials are helping you, though, Danfeed. Very happy to hear that always. Always good stuff. Wait, why the fuck does ignore.conf, which I suppose is the ignore configuration file, not automatically get ignored? Okay, now that all that is undone, in theory we should have those animations back again. I hope this is entertaining for at least someone out there, because it certainly is not entertaining for me. This is actually stupidly infuriating. Because I was really looking forward to getting some animation work done today. And we literally cannot do it. Even if I wanted to do animation, we cannot. Because I don't have the control rig for it. I'm trying to get the control rig for my character back so that I can actually do the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm sure at some point we'll figure it out. It being stuck on loading Niagara particle system is not a good sign though. Because that should not take like more than a split second. That's usually a really good sign that something is fucked up. I'm going to probably, once the stream is over, retitle this to something like, why game development actually sucks. Or Unreal developer blames Unity for all of his problems. Something like that. Because at this point, I am. Okay, so I'm going to do a thing. And that thing is I'm actually going to just bite a bullet that I should have done like 30 minutes ago, because that would have probably fixed the issue by now. And I'm going to change my workspace back to a previous one. Which is probably going to, be problematic because it's got a bunch of changes now. Actually, none of these changes matter. So all of these can get added to the ignore lists instead. Those don't need to be tracked at all. Why are you not on the ignore list yet? Because you can't be for some reason, or maybe you already are. Probably not actually, never mind. We'll get there. One of these days. Action RPG saved logs can't be undone because it's being used by another process. What fucking process would be using it? I can't change my workspace. Okay, so the issue is, I'll show you real quick. The issue here that I'm facing now is I want to just change my workspace back to like here or here. Just get rid of all this, assuming that something went wrong with the merge. Because there's no other place that it could have gone wrong, I think. But I can't do that. Like, let's just try to switch workspace. Where even is it? I'm losing my mind. Merge, no. Switch workspace to this change set. It's not going to let me do that because there's a change set that's not applied yet. That's all fine and dandy. When I try to undo this, it won't let me. I'm going to just real quick close the Epic launcher. Maybe that'll do something, but I doubt it. Let's close version control itself. Maybe that's the thing that was using it somehow, which would be very fucked if that was somehow the reason that it couldn't delete them. No. I don't know what other process would be using these files. This is always one of those things where I'm like, why can't you tell me what process is using it so that I can terminate it, please? I suppose we fucking check it in because we're going to be reverting anyway. And then we change workspace back to that. And you see, this is the issue, is why I didn't want to do this. It's only 5 gigabytes for this one. But that's going to take like 15 minutes to do. So we're just going to sit here for 15 minutes, 16 minutes apparently, and wait for this to complete. So hopefully you guys have something going on in your life that is not watching this stream to make it more interesting for the next... Oh, 20 minutes! Grand! Amazing. Because I can't do shit. Believe me, I would love to be animating right now. I really would. But I literally cannot. And because I'm changing workspace to a different change set, I can't even do anything inside of my repository because I'm afraid it'll fuck something up. So I can't even go like open Substance Painter to work on the textures for this a little bit more and export those and have those ready for use in Engine, because that's all in the repository, because I want everything to be like version tracked and whatever. So I can't even open that. At this point, the only thing that I could do is open Blender and just start doodling in 3D. That's literally the only thing I have left to do. But I don't think that's particularly like more useful than what I'm doing right now, which is just bitching. So, do I have any like fun stories to talk about? Not really, no. The upside is that I am like 94% confident that this will fix it. But it's taking... Oh my god, it's taking 30 minutes now, it says. Which is fair, actually, that it takes a little bit longer, because I am also encoding a live stream. So my CPU is being used at least somewhat. Though I think that's supposed to be running on my GPU, so that actually shouldn't really be slowing that down much. I don't know, we're just going to be sitting here and having fun. Well, fun is kind of subjective. It's going as fast as it will go. There's nothing much I can do about that. So I suppose what we'll do is I'll launch RuneScape again, because Unreal's not here to crash it this time. So at least you'll have something better to look at. And I will add a text here so that people who join will know what is happening when they join the stream. Do I already have like a text set up in this scene? I don't. Let me add it real quick. Text overlay, version control, reverting, playing RuneScape while we wait I hate my life. Okay, maybe add in like an extra enter there. So now people will actually like know what the hell's going on while we wait for the next 30 minutes. I want everybody to be aware, by the way, that by the time this thing finishes... Oh, this is not even on my headphones, so that's going to have echoing sound. By the time this thing finishes reverting, we're going to have time to do one animation again. Somehow we have this streak going where... I could do a tree run. We have this streak going somehow where every time I stream doing animations for this particular character, we only do one animation in the stream because something is wrong. Whether it be like last Tuesday when I did a stream, my brain just wasn't braining. The one before that, we did like a lot more rigging than I thought. Today, my version control is fucking me. I wonder what's gonna go wrong next time to keep me from being able to actually get any goddamn work done on this thing. So that we can finish the animations and actually finish up this boss fight at some point. Because this boss fight has been in the works for, I think, almost 3 months at this point. Because I'm only working on it while I'm streaming, which really slows things down. So, yeah, no, I'm gonna be real with you. It's not like I'm gonna stop streaming. Let's put that out there first. That's not what I'm about to say. But I'm unlikely to do a character in this way again. That being exclusively working on progress only while I'm streaming to like capture the entire process. Because that is why this thing has taken like 3 months. And by the time we've finished this, probably maybe even more. Because I'm only working on this guy about 4 hours a week. And that really slows things down. So certain parts of it I tend to pay more attention to because I'm streaming. Like the sculpting and the texturing itself, I pay more attention to because I'm streaming. And as a result, it is better. Because when I'm like sculpting on my own, I don't have like the 2 hour time slot to fill. So if we're like 50 minutes in, it's good enough, right? But when I'm streaming, I'm like, okay, I've got a 2 hour stream to fill. We're 50 minutes in. It's pretty good. What am I going to do with the other like hour or so? Not particularly that much. So I might as well keep going. And that's how things get a lot more detail and end up being and looking better. To be fair, a lot of that was like 3 weeks worth of retopology as well, which definitely could have been faster. So I think like that, doing those on stream, that's fun. I like doing that because it drives me to make better stuff. But then there's things like this, specifically like animation, where I'm like, I don't know, man. I probably would have finished all the animation stuff in like 1 or 2 sittings of a couple of hours if I wasn't doing this on stream, and I would have been to the programming part of this now. Which is to say, I think after we've finished this character and he's fully implemented, I've gone through the entire journey from concept to functioning boss fight on stream. The streams after that are going to be less exclusive than they have been, is what I'm thinking. Because that if we run into an issue like this, I don't have to worry about, oh my god, what is going to happen with... I already have a full inventory, that one real quick. What is going to happen with this stream? If something just doesn't work out because of some weird issue, I can just pivot to one of the other 5 million things that I'm doing. So that is our upside, and it means that I just make more general progress, I think. Maybe not, we'll see. Again, I'm going to finish this project, as in like this character, entirely on stream, because I've talked about I want to do that. I want to have the entire process start to finish on stream. But a part of that start to finish on stream now includes me playing RuneScape for half an hour while we wait for version control to fix itself. Which I suppose is part of what game development is like. So in that regard, if you're watching this for an example of what life is like when you're making a game, this is an accurate representation. It certainly is. I just don't know if this is like particularly valuable for anybody to watch me hacking away with like 3 polygon characters at a 4 polygon wall. I don't think that this really is going to help anybody aside from, oh yeah, this stuff can happen. I should be careful about that. Like, you've gotten that point at this moment, I would presume. And sitting through the entire half an hour of this live, I don't think is really productive for anybody, but I don't really have anything else to do at this point other than wait. So, fuck me, I guess, is the moral of this story. Yeah. That does bring me to what I might want to do after we've finished these, this character and the code and everything for this character as well. Because we're like not anytime too soon going up on that, but it's gonna be another like month before we get anywhere close to finishing this, I think. Assuming that we'll be able to do one animation today, we'll be able to do another attack animation. Then next week, throughout 2 streams, we'll probably be able to finish up the rest of the animations. Then the week after that, we'll be able to get the basic rundown for the abilities. And then let's say the week after that, we'll implement those into the behavior tree, something like that. Even if we have another week in which we need to do stuff because that schedule gets thrown off for whatever reason, probably me being an idiot, that means that we have about another month of streaming to go for this character. After that, we will have to come up with something new to do on stream. And I'm thinking, if you've seen my, I think, last devlog, maybe it was the one before where I talked about this, it all kind of blends together after a while. Oh no, it's the last one, because the one that I'm thinking of right now is the one that I'm working on, which isn't out yet, so that doesn't make a lot of sense to you guys. I talked about the puzzles in every dungeon that I have in mind, and how I'm going to be replacing that with, instead of puzzles, they're going to be mini games instead, because I think that is just a lot more fun to make, probably a lot more fun to play, and a lot less bothersome from a programming perspective, hopefully. Which seems counterintuitive, but turns out that making code for a puzzle that you that only use once actually is highly stupid. You can hard code things very, very much, but I'm that fucker who's like, no, if I'm going to code this, I want to code this like very modularly so that I can reuse it in the future. But if I'm going to like do that anyway and then only use it once, I might as well. It's not that much more work to do code for a minigame compared to a puzzle, I would say. It's a little bit more work, don't get me wrong, it's not the same. Not by a long shot. Well, not by a long shot is misrepresenting it a little bit. I think it is pretty similar. I also picked the worst possible puzzle, maybe, for the first puzzle I was going to do, but that then led to this ID, so maybe that's a good thing. So if I'm going to do those minigames anyway, I might do some of that minigame development on stream, because I think that is fun. Part of the reason that I chose doing minigames instead of puzzles is due to just a workflow for me, where after doing a lot of things about like the big game, what I can do is I can take a closer look at like a microcosm of game development, that being concepts, design, execution, polishing, within like a very small scope, because it's just a mini game. So it's just it's a very easy like dopamine hit for me, is really what I'm getting at. But I also think that might make for interesting stream content, which is not to say that I'm going to be doing all the, six mini games all developed only on stream, but it might be a fun thing to look at once we're done with this. If I want to keep things a little bit more structured and work on like projects on stream. But also do let me know if me just working on random stuff every stream, where there is a little bit less consistency between the end of one stream and where we pick up in the next stream, if I've done some like off-camera work or if we're doing something entirely different. Like, does that bother you as a viewer? Do you prefer things to be beginning to end, where I don't touch it between streams? Because if so, like if people actually like largely prefer everything to be done on stream so that they can follow along step by step, watching me do it, I can definitely also see that perspective and the value in that. And if people really do like that more, I will try to look for situations where I can do something more like that. But it also does result in issues like we're having here right now today. So do take that into account when you give your opinion. Because there's only one thing that I can do, and that one thing is for any reason being problematic, there's literally nothing I can do anymore. And if there's like 5 things I can do, because I'm working on a couple of things at the same time, it might be easier to pivot to something else. Which still then creates an issue with the thumbnail and title of the stream not fitting what I'm doing, but that's a YouTube issue. I don't really mind that. Anyway, how are we doing on time? It's still 20 minutes to go. Oh, well, about halfway through. So it's probably going to lower at some point. What I'm hoping is happening is it's doing the largest files first. So it thinks, oh, we've only done half the files. I don't know if it would go off per file basis or like per like size basis. Probably a per file basis, right? That estimation for time. Well, no, actually, it definitely says that it's done 2.4 out of 5.2 gigs. So it's looking at the total size on disk, not on the amount of files. It does both. It looks at both. The only question is, what does it remain the basic remaining time on? And it's jumping up and down quite a bit. So whatever the cause of it jumping up and down is, I hope it's in my favor, and it's just going to like tank down to 3 minutes any moment now. Well, it just did tank down to 18, so that's good. Back up to 19, 17. Okay, it's going down. I'm getting really unlucky with these ores. Okay, we're down to 16. But it actually is going faster now, so that makes me happy. Well, usually I don't like it when people text me while I'm streaming, but now it's not like I've got anything better to do, is it? Down to 14. This actually is going in my favor. Holy hell. You know what? If reverting this doesn't actually fix my stuff, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be real upset. I'm not gonna like that. I'm fairly certain that this will fix it. It's either this or the change set before it, which will fix it. I don't know exactly when I made the commit for the one that I'm reverting to right now. I feel like it was earlier today. But it might have been just after I finished like this weekend of development. In which case, if it is the latter, I am also removing the animation stuff that we did earlier this week. But at this point, if the cost of me getting back my control rig is the fact that I don't have the animation blueprint or the attack animation that we made on Tuesday, that can be replicated really quickly and easily. That is 20 minutes of work at this point, I think. So if we have everything in order, everything working, except for those things existing, I'm going to roll with it and I'm just going to remake those. Because those are remakeable. That's fine. And then after this stream is done, like this weekend, I'm going to do a little bit more reading into how to actually use Unity version control, or the actual name is like Plastic, what is it called? Plastic SCM. So if we run into any issues like this in the future, where the fuck did I put my tab with chat? There we go. If we run into any issues like this in the future, I hopefully will be able to solve them a little bit easier, because this is the first time I'm running into an issue with this. I changed to this version control, I don't know, like 3 months ago right now. And since then I've hardly ever had to revert any changes. So this is the first time I'm really running into that, and it seems to be quite painful. So it's making me rethink this. But I'm not going to make any rash decisions based on just this one annoying thing, because it might be a user error thing that I'm just not patient enough to Google and troubleshoot while we're on stream. So I'm going to do a little bit more reading up on what I might be doing wrong or misunderstanding about all this. And potentially it'll be fine. And if it is not fine, I will see how easily I can transfer my repository back to something that does work. Because this is, I don't know, man. This seems like it shouldn't be this big a deal. But again, I am 100% open to me being the issue here. Because it probably is. We're down to 12 minutes to go. So I'm talking the time away. I am talking the time away. As it means, I'm looking into my Discord to see if anything's going on. Only someone with a question. Which I will look into later. Oh, we're back up to 14. Oh, 12 minutes, never mind. It's really funny how throughout computer history, the one thing that computers consistently have always sucked at, like they're better, a little bit better at it today than they were like in the early or the early 2000s, and like the 90s and stuff. But the one thing that they always really suck at, and it makes sense, is estimating time remaining on like file transfers and stuff. If you're just transferring one file, that's fine. I understand that if you're transferring like 1,000 files, you run into the issue we talked about before. It doesn't base it off the amount of data or the amount of files that it has transferred. It's probably the amount of data, but if that's a lot of small files, it actually needs to do a lot more writing work, so that slows it down. But you would think that, like we're living in 2024. We're living in the fucking future, right? You would assume that by now, people at Microsoft had figured that the fuck out, where they could look like an index, like a list of all the files about to be transferred and the sizes, and take that into account somehow in the calculation of how long things take to estimate. I don't even know if this time remaining thing is like... I assume that's just a Windows function that software can hook into and use. But I'm probably oversimplifying things a lot, because as much as I'm a game developer, I wouldn't call myself anything near a software engineer. I'm barely a game developer. Case in point, I'm losing my mind over a version control issue. We're down to under 10 minutes. Transfer speed on never reality. Yeah, I don't know. And again, I kind of get it, right? It seems like a really difficult problem to solve, but it also seems like a thing that... Well, I was going to say, it seems like a thing that like every user at all times will interface with and see and experience. But at this point, we're also so deep into people just expecting that to be a estimate that can wildly change that probably people aren't that bothered by it anymore if it's a little wrong. So why fix it at that point, I suppose? Like, it's not exactly a legally binding terms and conditions or anything. The estimated time left. So, I don't know. Like, why bother fixing it? Or improving it? It's not even needing a fix, because it's not actually broken. Just doesn't work as well as it could. Which is distinctly different from it being broken. That just means it's bad. Bad and broken are two different things. Let's just grab those 6 remaining ores as well, why not? Okay, so we're 4 gigabytes out of 5.2 gigabytes now, but only 29 out of 56 files. And we've been at 29 out of 56 files for a hot minute. So I'm gonna hope that once it's done with this one file, somehow it's going to speed up its estimation. That is very counterintuitive, because you would assume that more files that are smaller actually will increase the amount of time that it's going to take. Because that's usually how transferring files works. So it's probably going to be more. But we're down to like 6.5, 7 minutes now. So we're almost there. Also, let's... that's not where I wanted my cursor to be. Let's move this thing around a little bit so people can read it a tiny bit better. Oh my god, I just started mining that. Fuck. So, who else went to this stream and thinking, oh, this is going to be fun. I like animation. Well, I was going to say me too, but I don't actually like animation. I really, really don't like doing animation. I was looking forward to it today, though. Because the rig that we have is pretty decent. I was working on some very like infuriating shit earlier today. So just doing some simple, clean animation, swinging a sword, well, not a sword, a scythe, around. It's gonna be a good shit. I've been live for an hour and a half. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go before I decide whether or not to jump out my window. Because if the rig is not there in 5 minutes, I don't know what I will do. I guess I will revert one more change set to the one before that, to check out whether or not it still exists there. And from there, I guess, if we actually lose any progress, which we shouldn't, by reverting to the change that we're reverting to right now, we can always then merge from there again, I think. So we shouldn't be losing anything. But even if we do, at this point, I am more than willing to say that, okay, everything I did during that 12-hour development streak, that, again, video coming out pretty soon, I don't want to lose that, but everything that I've done since, that's not that much work. I can redo some of that stuff if I need to. I just don't want to lose anything from during or before that. So the rig itself, I don't want to lose that. Some of the animations that I've done, I don't want to lose that. The one animation that we did on Tuesday, it's fine. I'm not that. Like, I'm not married to it. We can lose it. It's fine. But hey, this is very good for my mining experience and stuff. Right? How much mining experience are we getting here? About 32k an hour. I fucking hate mining. Did I ever finish my rant about mining in old school RuneScape? Because in RuneScape 3, it's very AFK. But RuneScape 3, I talked about that, is like very much a modern game. Old school RuneScape, much less so. But god damn it, mining specifically in old school doesn't have like a lot of the updates and the quality of life, which makes it very AFKable, that RuneScape 3 has. Literally, RuneScape 3 AFK times are like upwards of 20 minutes to an hour in some skills. The longest AFK you can reasonably expect in RuneScape, like old school, is I think, aside from a couple of things that are combat related, in areas where enemies will always be aggressive, there your AFK is 25 minutes. Then you have normal aggressive combat, which resets after 10 minutes. And for skilling, like the longest AFK I think you have in old school is redwood trees at like level 92 wood cutting. So you're most of the way, well, with the XP curve in RuneScape, you're not most of the way done. Actually, at that point, you're halfway through to 99. But it takes a while for you to get there, and that's like, I think, 4.5 minutes. So it's wildly different. So I should be playing RuneScape 3 on stream, really, but I just don't see a point because I don't like it. I really don't. One minute, 39, 44, 55, 2 minutes, 1. Every time I start talking about it, it goes up. But we're about at the 1.5 to 2 minute mark now. And it's still at 29 out of 56 files for some reason. So there's just one file that is... It's an autosave from Substance Painter that it's spending all this time on, I think. It says. So all the other files might be like just log files or something like that. I wonder how many gold nuggets I have at this point. Just due to doing this like for half an hour. And a little bit before the stream as well. So I'm pretty sure I need like 200 for the first reward. I'll just check it out in the bank. I don't think we have enough time to fill another inventory up. It's probably in, is there skilling? Where did I put that? In money? Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's probably in here and I'm just overlooking. Oh, okay, so we're at 50. And upgrading this, oh no, that's the callback, which also is really important. Like every piece here. Okay, so I could get some prospector gear already, actually. Which increases your experience. Could get one piece. Coal bag would be 100 nuggets, so I can't afford that. A gem bag would also be 100 nuggets, so I can't afford that. Do you do that by like talking to him? Is there anything else I can unlock here? Yeah, 200 nuggets to make this thing bigger. So I'm a fourth the way there, and I've been doing this for like 6 hours. So it's insane. Oh, okay, it's done. It's done. It's done. It can't update the log thing. That is, I don't care. We're back to that commit. Okay, let's open up Unreal and see if we are saved. Remember when we had 11 concurrent viewers all excited for me to be animating? We're down to 3 people watching me bitch. I'm very sorry, everybody. I am about as happy about this as you are. Probably severely more annoyed. Okay, Unreal Engine. The doors work. Animation, characters, bosses, Reaper. We have the rig. Guys, the rig exists. It is here. We have it. It exists. We can make animations. Animation blueprint. Does this look like what it needs to look like? It fucking does. So yeah, I don't think that we actually lost anything, like at all. Do we have any convenient spots nearby for like star mining? I suppose we could go to Archerate Mine. Let's finish up this RuneScape thing because I was doing it anyway. And then we can start actually animating some stuff. Oh, that feels good. Feels good that that actually worked. Like that half hour of me just waiting ended up paying off. Should I have just done that from the get-go? Well, yeah, in retrospect, obviously. But you never know that while trying to troubleshoot other things. Again, it's the whole door issue that I talked about earlier in the stream and bitched about in the Discord and will bitch about in that upcoming video. Is I spent about an hour trying to rework my level loading system. Then I reverted back to an earlier commit without all the issues that I had right now, I might add. And I fixed it up in 5 minutes in a different way. Because that's just how life works. And it is infuriating at times. I actually can't teleport to that, so never mind. Take one of these just in case. And then we'll That's actually a free-to-play world. That's also a free-to-play world. That's also a free-to-play world, so it doesn't actually matter. I don't know if it like limits you in your mining speed. If you're using a dragon pick in a free-to-play world, I don't think it will, but we'll see. And the moment it all fixes itself, people do come back into the stream. I'll walk real quick to this full-on shooting star, and then we'll actually get back to animating. It should only be like a minute, and then we'll be there. And then RuneScape will crash in like 5 minutes, because Unreal make RuneScape crash for some fucking reason. And it's just down to tier 6 as well. My timing is impeccable. Yeah, you can't use a dragon pickaxe in a free-to-play world. Luckily, we're literally right next to a bank, so we can just take this out. And now it should automatically switch over to the rune. Yes, there we go. Okay, with all that, let's go back into my animation level. Levels, animation level. Here we frickin' are. Not a knight, we want a reaper. Level sequences, quick attack 2. Actually, time to animate. And we've got the rig. Look at it. It's got controls and everything. It is so amazing. It's so funny how it does all that, isn't it? Okay. So we've got this attack, which needs a little bit of work looking back at it. But right now what I want to do is I want to make an attack that goes the other direction. It probably should be about the same timings. But we'll worry about that in a moment. Let's just start with... Does that pinch anything? A little bit, but like acceptably, I would say. Then bend this forward a little bit. So the last one, he had a bend backwards and then bend forwards as he sliced. I think I want to try to see if I can make this one bend forward to just like standing upright or something like that. Probably want the hood to be a little bit more upright, and then maybe even this a little bit like that. And then now I do want that to be more flat. There's not a lot of room to work with here, admittedly. We can move this a little out of the way. And then as a whole, just rotate the body. Move it down a little bit more. Oh, actually, we need to rotate this. Ooh, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it? I forgot about that. It's really fucking funny, by the way, how the moment I actually start doing game development work and not playing RuneScape anymore, talking about which, we're good to go, people leave. What the hell is up with that? Like in the end, what we need to do is we need to have him like rotate like that. But we can't really do that with the hand for what I hope is obvious reasons. Unless can we do like... I suppose we can trick it a little bit like that. We'll see how noticeable that is in a moment. For now, let's just... rotate this spine segment a little bit as well. Get this a little flatter still, or is it going to clip through the arm? No, that's about right. Maybe that's even a little too much. Yeah, that's a 90 degree. Like, that doesn't look good for a spine. Let's it's a little bit less. About 15 frames, and then I do quite like the idea that this one is like a slice that also goes a little bit upward. So maybe we can work into that a little bit more. Without clipping into the floor, I would like. And then in the end, all the way like that. And then, of course, okay, how does this... Okay, so that is an issue. I also don't exactly know how we fucked that up. Is it these keyframes? No, why? How? Is it double frames? No, it's not double frames. At this point, how does that happen? Oh, it's because these are just straight up not keyframed. Okay, now that's on me. That is definitely on me. Still annoying, but annoyingly my fault. Which makes it worse, because I can't blame anybody else. Not even Unity. And you know it's a bad day when you can't blame Unity for something as an Unreal developer. Like, that's the main thing that we all want to do every day, all day. I probably should be not using the hand too much. For all this. You know what? That actually is a pretty good path for that attack to take. And while I would like it to have the scythe be the other way around, I just realized that the scythe does have this little, like, pokey thing coming out of the back. I didn't just notice that. I've seen this model like a million times. I know that it's there, but I just noticed that that could still function as being something that is damaging. So if what I have in mind doesn't work, that still is entirely like a valid way to go about it. Now, there definitely needs to be a little bit more movement here as well in this as a whole, I would say. And is it really finicky to select? I also stream on Twitch, but I do appreciate the subscription on YouTube more so, I would say. Twitch, I only stream to really as a courtesy for people who are having trouble with YouTube, because that happens sometimes. I like every once in a couple of weeks, somebody will show up in Twitch chat for like 5 minutes and then leave because I'm bad at looking at Twitch chat. But if you prefer watching on Twitch, you 100% can. I just don't really care for Twitch that much, personally. Let's just move these keyframes over here as well. Oh, we still have that weight painting issue. Well, I'll fix that at some point in the future. I don't really care about that right now. I mean, I'm actually straight up pretty happy with this movement. The only thing that we need to do is we need to have somehow... Again, this is the downside of forgetting to implement a bone for the weapon itself. Can I animate the sockets? Is that a thing that you can do? A very good question. I'm assuming the answer is no. But we're gonna check out if there is any like ready-made stuff for me to do that. Does it appear in this hierarchy is the first question. It's the right hand, I believe. It doesn't show up in here, so that's probably not a good sign. I would assume that sockets are not animatable. I have to assume that those like just get compiled down to static values anyway. But it's worth checking out. If I just look for socket. Yeah, it's only Niagara stuff. Okay, so that's not going to do too much. Then the only thing that I have left that I can really do is just flipping the hand. And I don't love that, but we'll see if we can. Like this technically, like, yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Another really roundabout way we could do this is to make this attack so much more over the top, literally, and make him also like do a flip during this attack. Like, let me just show you what I mean, right? So if this attack also includes him literally doing something like this, would you look at that? It's now going in the right direction. Is this a good way to do this? No. It would also require me to do something like then rotate him 180 degrees, so we would get something like actually unsightly. We could make a cool animation out of that where he flips first, and maybe we'll do that for the solo attack. That actually seems like a pretty cool idea for the slow attack, him like doing a more elaborate movement before doing the actual swing. That seems pretty cool, not gonna lie. I like that idea. What I don't like is doing it so quickly for this attack. It just seems messy. So I think we're just gonna kind of deal with the fact that he swings with the small part and the more blunt part of the scythe at you from this direction, because otherwise he's only going to be able to attack you from the one direction. Or we need to find a way to add a bone inside Unreal. We're in for 5.3. That's the one that I wanted to say. So maybe we can actually add bones. I know that they've been trying to like work more like rigging and armature stuff into Unreal in these past couple of updates. So maybe they also added some functionality for that. That would be fantastic. Let me move this out the way. That's the wrong thing. I wanted to open up this one. Can we add actual bones? Because we have this weapon sockets. Add virtual bone. I don't know if that does what I wanted to do, but we're going to check this out. Hand R. With that virtual bone. Can I now go back into here and will it be in this hierarchy? Yeah, I don't think that it is. That's probably why it's a virtual bone. Because it doesn't actually appear in there. Okay, that's unfortunate. I could go back into Blender still and just add a bone to him. To his right hand for this. But we could do that at any point in the future. I don't really feel like doing that right now. But we don't need it anymore. Because that would also then require looking into the socket situation and stuff, and I really don't feel like doing that. So maybe can we like upgrade to bone or anything by any chance? Create mesh sockets. I don't think that's gonna do it. Unreal 5.3, add bone to skeleton. Let's just see if there's a way to do this that I'm missing out on. Adding skeleton to a mesh in video. Modeling tool, still on the static mesh. Convert static mesh to skeletal mesh. Draw skeleton. Edit something. Edit. Can we edit something? Make static mesh? No. Editing tools. I don't have that button. I have a retargeting manager, but I feel like that's not what we're going for here. Yeah, no, that's not doing it. Enable skeletal mesh editing tools plugin. I feel like I should just do this in Blender. I feel like I should just do this in Blender. This feels really wonky to do this in Unreal like this. So let's do it. Let's do it in Unreal. Because it feels wonky and things can only go wrong. And we like it when things go wrong. Because this entire stream is just things going wrong. So let's do that. In the plugins, skeletal mesh editing tools, which will require me to, I don't need to open whatever was open. which will require a restart just as we get down to the next tier of meteorites. It's going to take a moment, but we'll be fine. This stream is a clusterfuck, man. This is absolutely horrendous. To the point where I'm actually like, maybe if I have time this weekend, I will do an extra stream just to keep on some kind of schedule. Because we actually like just didn't do anything today. And I kind of feel bad about it. Okay. Skeleton. Still doesn't have that button, man. But maybe we can add base socket to selected bone, base socket, add sockets, reset selected bone transformation, copy selected bone, add preview asset. No, I don't think any of that is what I want. Let's go back to that video. No, that video is going to be fucking worthless if I don't have create assets, create animation, create pose asset. It's not going to do it either, is it? So that was very useful for me to not... Oh, hold on. It's in this menu. So that's definitely not going to help me either. Because I want to add a bone to an existing... I can't even open that menu for whatever fucking reason. What the hell's going on there? Characters, bosses, Reaper, skeletal mesh. Its trade up will not let me open this skeletal mesh. Because it's already open. Okay. Editing tools. Okay, hold on. We've got a thing. RuneScape, you stay there. We've got a thing. Right hand. We can add a virtual bone. That's not what I want. Editing tools. Skeleton. Added skeleton. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Create new bone. Did I create a new bone? I can't see because there's too many fucking bones here. I don't think I created a new bone. Projection. I don't care. Name weapon R. That just changed the name of that bone, I think. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, let's watch that video some more. And we watch that video, I mean, just... Okay, we add... Can we literally just click and add a new... We can literally just click and add a new bone! That's literally what we can do. And then when we add it, can we just say, hey, this new bone that we've just added, which is somewhere under here, surely, now. Probably at the very bottom of the child's. This one, which will be weapon underscore R. If I need to go back into Blender for any reason, this is going to fuck me up, the fact that I'm missing a bone. We added this, we can disconnect it, but we don't want to disconnect it, probably, do we? Well, no, we do want to... We actually, I think we do want to disconnect that. if we disconnect this, it gets parented to the root. No, we don't want that. We want it to... Let's see. I want it to be parented to the hand, but with an offset. But I suppose what we can do is we can just make this a separate bone and then have the offset from the socket. But if the socket is parented to this instead of the hand, at least we can independently animate this. So that'll be fine. Yeah, let's just go with that. It's a little messy, but it'll probably work. And that's really all that I need. So now we can just probably move this to weapon_R, which has a different colored fucking icon. That worries me a little. Don't know why that is, but I'm gonna pretend like it's fine. Not really, why is that? I do not know. Now if we go back into the control rig, now that bone should be there. It is not. Why is it not? Let's close it and open it up again. It still isn't showing. So that is likely what that difference in icon means. Is the fact that it's not there. Is what I'm guessing. Okay, I have a wacky fucking idea. But what if, right? What if what we do? No, that won't work. I was going to say, what if what we do is we... No, that could work, maybe. Kinda. No, never mind. I'll still say it because you guys are probably like on the edge of your seat at this point. Not really. I was thinking, what if we just put the socket on one of the fingers and then we just rotate that finger around. Nobody's going to notice the fact that that finger flips 180 degrees, but that doesn't work with offsets or anything. Matter of fact, the thing that I was just doing, it wouldn't work either. Now that I think about it, because it needs to rotate around its own axis, which means that this bone actually straight up does need to be disconnected. But maybe if we go into the details, maybe there's something still that we can do here to salvage it. Maybe. We can hope. Okay, I'm going to disconnect this just because. At this point, I'm just kind of messing about. Okay, so now it is disconnected and it is just a child of the root. Which, strangely enough, does make it that other icon, which might mean that... Which might mean that if we open up the rig, it will now show up in here. If it does, I'm going to be so mad. It still doesn't. So, at least At least there is that. I don't know. Let's put this... Well, actually, we're... let's just put this back somewhere. That's the wrong hand, I think. We want to have the hand R. And we'll just remove this bone. We don't need this bone anymore. Add skeleton. Just remove. It's fine. That's Blender 3.3. That's not the Blender version that I wanted. I wanted Blender 4.0. I don't think I could even open up my Reaper project in that. Reaper Boss 2, I'm pretty sure, is the one that we want. Yeah, so we just go into this bone over here, and what we do is we just extrude that out a little bit. We say, hey, you. Disconnect bone. And we move you over here. So now it's still parented to this bone, but it will be disconnected. So in theory, if we now just export... Oh my god, there was something about this. I think the way I exported this is with selected only. We'll see in a moment. This was... yeah, selected objects, then armature, no leaf bones. And I'm pretty sure that was it. And in Unreal, we can now... Let's just go into the Reaper skeletal mesh. Actually, the skeleton itself is what we want to re-import. Can we re-import just the skeleton? Is that a thing that we can do? Re-import mesh. Select the path to create animation. What the hell are you on about? Let's just try to re-import it this way. I'm not sure if this will re-import it in a way that includes new bones. Because it certainly seems like it doesn't. I don't fucking know. Something like that. That's definitely not what I want. I'm using both C++ and Blueprint. If anybody uses just C++, they are insane. If anybody uses just Blueprint, I would advise them to look into learning the basics of C++. Is how I tend to think about that. Okay, so hand 1R does exist. That's the thing we just made, right? So that bone does exist. It's just for some reason like invisible or something. The real question is, the only thing that I really care about, well, there's still a bit of an issue with it being connected, but we'll look at that if it becomes relevant. For now, does it exist in here as well? It's really the only thing that it doesn't. Do we need to re-import this as well? Something? Because we've got the hand, and then we've got the pinky, the middle finger, index finger, ring finger, thumb. We don't have a new bone that we just added. But we don't need that. So, what do? Let's see if anybody else has run into this issue, because this doesn't seem like a rare issue. Unreal control rig update to show new bones. Updating IK rig after adding new bones. Thank you. Unset the preview mesh and then set it again. So can we just set this to like none, or just a wrong one and then set it back to a proper one? Yeah, no, that doesn't do it. That doesn't do it at all. I mean, we can set this to the Reaper animation blueprint. Don't know if that does anything. Not really. I don't think. Yeah, let's set this to none. Compile, save, exit out of it. Open it back up. And set it to Reaper now. It doesn't even get rid of this, so that's definitely not what is going on here. But it is broken now, so that's a thing. Oh, we're back. We're back. Never mind. Yeah, that doesn't fix it, because this is probably not even talking about control rigs. This is talking about like something else. Updating control rig with new skeleton mesh / new file. That's exactly what I want to know. Okay, might have found a solution. You can refresh skeleton by clicking the root bone. Refresh. Thank you. Is that anyway? Refresh. Select mesh. Reaper. Reaper boss. It is there. We have it. It's in a weird direction, admittedly, but we have it. So we can now add a control for it. That's the entire thing that we wanted to do here. So let's add control for selected, adding that control to the right hand. We'll keep it red, that's fine. And then we'll make this like 0.05 to make it smaller. Make it 0.1, why not? And then we'll use a fixed sphere for this. And then what we will simply do is set up a parent constraint. We're simply going to, don't even need to actually get this, never mind. Bone. This one, parent. It's not going to be a bone. It's going to be, oh, I think that's the, no, the shooting star is still going strong. You do want to add it to the execution flow. That might be relevant. Okay, so now the idea would be this weapon socket is gonna move itself over to this bone, and we're gonna go into the animation level. And I will open up my chat window again, because I keep forgetting that people might actually be watching this. I learned C++ in school almost 20 years ago, but never used it. you'll find that C++ and Unreal and like C++ as you might know it, if you know like C++ in a wider context, very different, very much less painful to work with. Unreal actually just does garbage collection and stuff, which you might be used to if you work more in like C# and Java and stuff like that. So the most painful parts of doing C++ stuff is taken care of for you. For the most part, as long as you don't make your own base classes. It only garbage collects stuff that comes from U object. So if you, for some reason, like make an entire class that doesn't inherit from U object, which you just shouldn't do, that doesn't get garbage collected, but everything inheriting from U object just has garbage collection built in, which is very nice. And as such, like objects will be kept alive as long as they are being referenced by other things that are still alive. Oh, my thing ran out. Varrock East Bank. Sure, let's go there. That's very easy to get to. So yeah, that's I don't frankly know in like too much detail how all the garbage collection stuff works, because like I'm making a game, not a game engine, so I don't really care about it too deep in detail, if I'm being honest with you. I can mine this, right? I can. Good. But yeah, it's good stuff. I should turn on the light. Oh my god, it's very bright when I go to this level. It's getting quite dark in my room, so I should turn on a light in a moment. But let's open up. First and foremost, this does seem to be hovering a little bit lower now, so that actually is a good sign. Now let's open up a animation. So level sequence, quick attack 2. That was the thing that we were working on. If we now go up to this and we say, hey, 1 frame after the start, I want this specific thing that isn't showing. Oh no, it is. It is. I want that to be flipped the fuck. How is this rotating everything? What? Oh, okay. No, I was rotating the... Okay, so... No, that does make sense, actually. That does make sense. Hold on. I'm just an idiot. I was rotating the mesh as a whole, I believe. Or the control rig as a whole, rather. So if we go into... Just exit out of this real quick. Because I think that this thing is... probably lost its sockets that it is parented to, maybe. Let's see. Attached to Reaper, control rig. We can pretty much just attach it to the bone now if we wanted to. Right. Do we have the new hand bone in here? Hand right 3. That doesn't make a lot of sense. That does not make a lot of sense. Hold on. We're not quite in the clear yet. Still some stuff going weird. Oh, that's... No. It might actually still be good. I just parented this to the wrong control, I think. So if I parent this to the right control, it might still work. Assuming that it still is parented now to the proper sockets. If I fuck that up, I will be annoyed. Zoom in a little bit on this. I move you back over there. Okay, so it's maybe no longer parented to the right thing. Maybe. Let's see. That doesn't seem like it's parented to the right thing. I'm going to be real with you. Because it's not parented to anything at all anymore. That might be... No, it is. Let's unattach it. How about that? Can we just like say, hey, you are now... You're attached to a sequence player. Sure. Let's attach it to the Reaper rig too. Oh, I think I might have... Yeah, and then the weapon sockets. Okay. Now that we're pretty confident that it's in the right socket, it is in there. And if I go into my hand controller and I rotate this around, it... Wrong thing. If I rotate this around, it rotates the weapon without rotating the hand. We're there! Fucking hell! My goodness, that took way too long. That took way too long. But now we can do the thing. We can say, hey, 1 frame later. Just goddamn flip around. So that's like just 180 degrees flipped around, and then still not entirely centered, is it? That's fucked. But that might still be, hold on, that might still be fixable. That might still be fixable because this thing, relative location, if we set this to 0, 0, 0. Now we might be good. Kind of. Like, you can't really see the fact that it flips over there, which is exactly what I want. So, matter of fact, let's just start it with this right away. That said, that does create an issue with it clipping through the floor, which we might need to fix up a little bit. But that's a matter of, hey, the hand is doing probably weird stuff, right? So we can probably just deal with that by some handy stuff. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's... We're not going to finish this animation today. We've had a lot of trouble. And I'm extending the stream a little bit past what I would usually do. Because we wasted so much damn time. Actually, I think we can get away with not using keyframe here and do all that with curves. Probably be better if we do it that way, but... Good shit. This works well now. Sorta. Add a keyframe there just for the purposes of, hey, we need to be able to do some curve shenanigans. And then I think what we want to do is move these keyframes to a little sooner. That might be a bit too fast, actually. I think what we had might have been good, because this is Actually, if we set it to 15 frames, that's about half a second. Which I think is pretty good. It doesn't have any fucking anticipation. It just does it. But the anticipation can be in like a particle effect or something like that. Because aside from that, I really like the smoothness of... Maybe... Hold on. Maybe what we can do is we can move this like 5 frames into this direction. Just to give it a little bit more anticipation and warning for the player. And what we can do is we can have it do a little bit of... just ever so slightly. Move into that first position. And then with curves we can make them hang around there for a little bit. And again, the timing for the animation itself will be influenced by all that. Quite a bit, presumably. Yeah, okay, so it looks really fucking stupid now, I'm aware. Also, partly because it doesn't actually finish the movement. But I think if we curve that up a little bit, it'll probably be better, but it might not be. But I do think that if it like sticks around for a couple of frames longer, we really get that like building up and then releasing of momentum. And if we're gonna do that though, I do think that we want to have a keyframe here where it's just that 0, 0, 0 rotation. So that way we get... maybe not actually, because now it does make it a lot more obvious that we do that. So let's keep it at this for now. No? No, that's very much the opposite of what I meant to happen. What happened? This doesn't need to animate at all. Hold on. So if we just delete this keyframe, does that? What the fuck is going on? What is life? I suppose we'll just set this back here and then about 180 degrees, a little bit in that direction to make it make a bit more sense. Oh no, hold on. No, that's the right direction. I'm just an idiot. That is the right direction. Okay, let's try the curves a little bit because I want to know whether or not my ID is bad. Because it very well might be. Probably is. So we have body control, then spine 2, spine 3. So what I want to do is I want to not necessarily break those apart, but who knows, maybe we do. And then I want specifically the pitch. I actually do want to break those apart because I want to have, oh, what the hell? I want to specifically have this side drag out. And then spine 3. Again, this one. Drag this side out quite a bit. That creates more of a I'm sticking around a little longer. Matter of fact, Let's do a little more of that work like that. Just fun with curves. Like, this can take a while to get right. But let's like rough something up a little bit to see if this improves things. It makes it worse still. Like, this is still worse so far. What other keyframes do we have? Spine 2. I think spine 3 also does a thing. Let's see. Pretty sure. Oh, spine 3 we already did. Then we have spine 5. For which it might have also been an issue that I'm only animating one axis here. Only doing the curves on one axis is what I mean. This one is definitely going way too far now. Still needs to look like a smooth-ish curve. Okay, if we now also do the arm with that, I think that might actually not be bad. It's not gonna be a finished animation today. If you're thinking that, I've got some really bad news for you. But if we drag this out quite a bit, and then arm 2 we also drag out quite a bit, which we might need to do more than just one axis on these as well. So let's do both of these two. Drag it out. Select this one. Drag it out. That's 2. I only want the 1. Drag it out a little bit and then go back to arm 1. Those don't actually do that much. These, however, do a lot. So select all 3. Do that to them. Do that to them. Select these 3 and just drag them out. A bit like that. And then maybe even make that first movement slower, like 10 frames, and of course extend the playtime. Ten frames is maybe a little too long. Let's go for 8. I actually think that does work pretty well. It makes it a little less quick, but that's kind of the point, right? I sometimes need to remind myself that I'm making a game and not a movie. So things like telegraphing, like anticipation, needs to be more exaggerated even than it does in normal animation, because it's also the telegraph for the attack, which the player needs to be able to spot and react to before it happens. And right here, that gives them like 8 frames. Which if this plays at 60 FPS, it's 16 frames, but that's like under a third of a second. So there still probably needs to be some other telegraphing happening anyway. So maybe that's not a valid point. I don't fucking know. What I do know is that for now... let's do some more curves for the end position then as well. If we're doing this anyway, we might as well animate in a little bit of like overshoot for everything. So body control doesn't really have any curves with. Speaking of here, this however does. And all that we really need to do here is just do a little bit of breaking those apart. Just do a little bit of like this. Make this just so that it has a little overshoot and then then recorrection. So what I'm doing is breaking the tangents apart, making them longer. This one goes up a little, making this one shorter and go down a little so that it smoothly moves into it. And then we just do that for pretty much every curve. Hey, we're on level 64. Pretty much any curve with any significant movement will get something a little bit like that. That'll probably be fine. This one doesn't actually have like that much movement to it, so I don't think it's worth going through the trouble. But here we have a couple that definitely are. There are shortcuts for this, I think. At least for this, it's Control W. There might not be for... Oh, it's just 3. So we can do 3 Control W. In theory, right? We can. Okay. That does help speed things up a lot. So that's 3 and Control W. I probably should make like a macro for that, to be honest. Just like a 1 button thing that will quickly press both. Nothing there, nothing there. Definitely nothing on any of those. I've already had enough side tangents for today, so I'm not going to do like that macro thing right now. But I probably will write that up real quick, like tomorrow. Because I can tell you one thing. After this stream is done, I am heading to bed like real soon. I am so tired from all the bullshit that we went through today. And then the hand path. We probably want to be a little bit more careful with the hand path, to be honest with you. Just like more subtle. Oh. A little bit more mining. Because the hand is very fine movement and as such is unlikely to really overshoot all that much. Yeah, the version control barrel really kind of fucked me. Because I was really looking forward to this today and I still like I'm happy with the one thing that we did. Honestly. Let's just move this over a little bit more and make it a little bit slower so that the overshoot actually is like felt a little bit more. That's still pretty subtle. I think we could do with... it's going to blend out there anyway, but that does make it feel a little bit less like it just stops and is static, right? Like just for the sake of example, if we have this looping, we've seen it a couple of times now. You can feel like he's still moving and stuff. I think it's a little too subtle still. But if we just take out this keyframe entirely, and this is the same keyframe as what happens back there. But this is without the curves. So now it just stops moving. Like the only difference there is the curves that we just added. And it's so much more static and so much more bad, really. This is a lot smoother. It's a subtle detail, but it's very important to do this, I think. It's also important to do it better than what I just did. But it's been almost 3 hours, so I'm gonna just fucking leave. And I'll probably, if I have the time, I have a lot of things to do this weekend. And next week, as a matter of fact. I've got a pretty busy time ahead. But I'm going to try to this weekend, whether it be Saturday or Sunday, more likely on Sunday, but it depends on a lot of things. Do an extra stream to make a bit more progress with the animation, because all of the mess that we had to deal with today really wasn't all that good. So I'll be back probably sometime this weekend, and otherwise on the usual time and day on Tuesday again. So thanks everybody for bearing with me through the clusterfuck that was the first hour and a half of the stream, and I'll be back later again to have some more productive time. I'll see you all then. Bye bye.